There's a clear need to differentiate between research on the one hand and deployment on the other. While there's no international instrument such as a convention or treaty in force that would prohibit deployment of climate engineering techniques in general, viewed from today's perspective, it is fair to say that deployment is not lawful under public international law. The situation can be very different concerning research. There's a first governance regime concerning research of climate engineering, in particular marine geoengineering techniques, which has been accepted, and that regime contains certain requirements that need to be fulfilled in order for a research being lawful. So my answer is it depends. Concerning research, it depends whether the state which authorizes the CE experiment in question has followed the international regulations concerning research. If that is done, then the experiment is perfectly in line with international law, so there's no negative consequence. It would be different if the research experiment would be undertaken unilaterally without following the requirements that have been adopted. Then an experiment is likely to be illegal, and certainly any kind of unilateral deployment would have to be considered as being unlawful. In such a situation, the state concerned that has authorized the deployment or the experiment in question is in violation of international law, which means that it is responsible for that breach, meaning it is obliged to pay compensation for any environmental damage. It is difficult to assess from today's perspective how a future governance regime concerning climate engineering will look like. In October 2013, a first binding amendment to an international treaty has been adopted, which affects marine climate engineering, and at this moment of time, only ocean iron fertilization. And I think that this amendment to the so-called London Protocol will actually act as a model, will become a model for other governance structures of other climate engineering techniques. So my expectation is that amendments will be adopted to individual treaties concerning specific techniques of climate engineering. I do not expect a global climate engineering instrument to be adopted which would comprehensively cover virtually all techniques. It will be a case-by-case development.